Hey, good afternoon, everybody out there. We have my very good friend John
Grumpy
Hopwood.
Hopwood.
Grumpy. Hey, I like that idea. Are you grumpy?
No, I thought I was getting a Grampy hat, but
But
I have
that's not your
dyslexia.
personality, right?
Oh, that is my personality.
Grumpy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know what? You know what is cool? Is I had the pleasure of meeting your friend that was on your show.
Elizabeth
previously.
Ropp, the Register of Probate of Hillsborough County.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like I said, she and I would not agree politically, but that's
Right,
not that
but-
way. But you know, you and I have said before, politics should not interfere in people's way of thinking. If you're friends, you can be friends. You don't have to agree or disagree, you know?
Yeah, you can't because I was in the Army, and then I came from Manchester, New Hampshire, and
Yeah.
real middle class people were quite different. I found when I finally went up the social scale, and so I'm not going to. Reality's different at different economic levels. So how can I say that the opinions of people, like I grew up with, they might appall me or everything, but they're valid to themselves because of their situation. So
I always hated that. Oh, he's high class or he's low class or he's middle. You know, all the values of most of the people that are so-called upper class are very unhappy people.
well, most people are unhappy, but
Isn't that sad? There's so much hate.
yeah. It's better to be upper class than lower class. It's better to be rich than poor. That's
Well,
for sure.
It's
But
better to be yourself.
right, and
I
money
like it, not
never
money.
meant much to me, which now I'm 60. The EBT card people are, I never got my card, and it's just like a nightmare, so...
When I find,
now I realize I should have gone to law school.
Right.
Of course, I'd probably have been put in, jail a few times by judges. Frickin' them.
What I find interesting is that I've had it all. I had a partner who was pretty wealthy. Then I lost it all. Now I went middle. Yeah, go ahead. Hello, welcome to North Community Corner.
Is this Hopwood?
Yeah, is that Tom Massengale?
It is.
Tom, you can't talk. This isn't a show. This is ended. I'm just here. Call. This is the number. Call Matt Connerton. 603-250.
Wait, can you text it? Can you text Matt?
Yeah, I'll text it to
me?
you. But this is actually a show about spirituality, which but we don't do politics in this one.
No politics.
Right.
Norm is a psychic.
Interesting.
He's probably the most famous psychic in New Hampshire. I guess you are the most famous
Yeah,
psychic
yeah,
in New Hampshire.
But I've worked hard to get it.
Well, yeah, and you've been
know.
through a lot.
Yeah, this guy's got a lot of challenges coming to him.
This guy's Odin. But, you know,
Who's
you
got a lot of challenges coming?
What do you say?
What? Say that again? Tom?
Who's got a lot of challenges?
You have.
Norm's reading you.
Not without
Like what?
inspiration. You got a lot of decisions to make that could work in your favor, considering financial and another move in your life. You are a person that has a lot of energy.
Another move.
Are you here in the States? Well, we
Yeah.
shouldn't talk about this personally.
Right.
Because I'll talk to you.
I
You
would
can
let
come
you
on.
go,
He can
yeah.
come on another time.
Yeah.
But not,
Get a hold
yeah.
of Matt, yeah.
Why don't you call Matt? I just sent you the number. He's a Bernie supporter. So.
Okay. I've got a lot to do
yeah.
this afternoon.
Go
Okay.
support
If
Bernie.
you're not going to be on it.
Matt, I will be on. It's just that Norm's guest didn't show up.
Yeah.
My meter runs out in 12 minutes,
Yeah.
so
Oh, well.
I'll
Okay,
be
text me the information.
okay. I'll be on Matt's show about 4:30. Okay.
Excellent. Okay, good.
And you can come on here some other time.
Sure.
But this,
Yeah,
about spirituality. Okay.
Excellent.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, good deal.
Bye.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm waiting for George Lambert to come in. George,
Oh, George,
Yeah, George is-
of Litchfield.
Yeah, George is a renegade of the Republican Party.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. He's a renegade, you know. George is like you and I. We don't conform to other people's views.
Yet and I've gotten in trouble too, though of a different kind.
Oh, I've got a lot of hate email. A lot of and that too, you know. But it's so sad, John. You and I, we're not going to do politics. It's so sad when people say, "You're not a spiritualist because you don't follow this or I don't follow that one or I don't follow." You know.
Yeah, dogma.
Isn't it so sad that, you know? Like I did a show yesterday. I'm so excited. I do a.
Oh, that's right. You did a reading on
Facebook. Yep. And I had over 110 viewers.
Excellent. That's
So
a
I
great
thought that
start.
Yeah, it is, okay. And you know, I always recommend other readers as well. And then I have another, another friend of mine who did a complete energy core, taking on my head, on my shoulder, and she really did a great job. If you allow the spiritual energy to work with you, it does work.
Well, energy's everything. Energy, pools of energy is what we once in ancient times called the gods.
Yeah.
Because who's to say that energy and the way it manifests itself doesn't have intelligence?
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Today, we almost forgot my cell phone. And so I had to rush back home. I never walked so fast. And you know what? I felt better for walking quickly than I had in a long time.
Glenn R.J. Ouellette can walk faster than any man with a cane I've ever seen.
And yet he has leg and hip problems.
Yeah, but I realized that because I have back problems, and I've been on 2 canes at times. That be by him challenging himself that way. Because I can't even keep up with him.
Yeah, I give him credit for that. You know, I also give Glenn a lot of credit for never giving up on his political beliefs.
Was he really endorsed by the union leader for mayor? I know we're not going to talk about politics. Because on one of the shows I was watching, we said that, but I guess it was just a rumor.
They put his name in that he was running for mayor.
Oh, which was the first, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that one thing, never did it before.
Yeah. They've completely cleansed me from the paper, any mention or anything. Which, well, we can't going to talk about politics, but let's not talk about the union
this
leader.
is fun because there's going to be a political show when Joyce comes in anyways.
Oh, well, the union leader, Trent Spiner, who used to be the editor, he's going around, and I was told that one of the things he said about Biden was false. And I just remember all the things the union leader said about me, which were just false. And I don't know. He's the editor. It doesn't mean he controls the paper. No. Because you had the publisher, which was old Joe McQuaid. He's now out and the sun's in. But it's just outrageous where they just come out and say, oh, I'm a member of Joyce Gregg's campaign. I was never a member of her campaign. I've never been a member of anybody's campaign. It's like what Woody Allen says at the beginning of Annie Hall. He mentions the joke that, he says there's a joke that always, encapsulates my life, which is generally attributed to Groucho Marx. Right. I wouldn't want to be the member of a club that would have me as a member. So Joyce Gregg's not going to have me on their staff.
That's like I've been asked to join different...
I'm too out there,
I've been asked to join different spiritual... what they had in their halls, like, oh, come on in, we'll do a X amount of dollar. No, you know what? I'm my own person. I prefer to have my own hours. I work out of my office, and I have my own, and I do a lot of counseling. Yeah. And then I'm so excited. Today I got a Facebook message from a friend of mine, Terry, who I predict that she's going to have this child that she's going to have custody of, and she is going to. And then I had another one. Oh, no one gets what? I said, what is it? Oh, I am pregnant. You said I'd be pregnant by January. See, this is what makes what I do worthwhile.
But it's human connection. It's constructive. Yeah. See, when I think about politics, it's like we had the local, let's just put it this way. Let's say it's the head of a major municipal party who claimed he was going to be neutral. And he might not even vote. But then when you're covering, you find, until January. Then he comes out and endorses a candidate who is the candidate just endorsed by an old warhorse of the party, used to be the head of the party on the national committee, who endorsed, we can say Elizabeth Warren to Peel vote. These aren't people that are progressives. They were Clintonistas to Peel votes off of Bernie. And, but that ahead of a party, my party, I don't even consider the New Hampshire Democratic Party my party, or much of the Democrats my party anymore. The corruption is just awful.
Isn't it on both sides?
But I'm not a Republican.
But I mean, isn't it corruption
I think
on
the
both
New
sides?
Hampshire Democratic Party is worse than the New Hampshire Republican Party. The New Hampshire Democratic Party is run as the property of certain individuals who've been there forever. And they will make sure you know that. Yeah. I've been blacklisted. It's total now. Nobody would come on my show in the last election, even though the one before, I had like Heidi or somebody come on, so they don't have to taint themselves with somebody like me. Because I revealed in 2015 that in 2014 Ray Buckley refused support to Carol Shea Porter, who lost her seat by 10,000 votes. Now, he doesn't give a damn he doesn't give a damn if she had won. He didn't give a damn if Ginta won. And 2 years later, when I was up at St. Anselm College, and Al Baldessari wasn't there. First, Al and I, he'd be for Ginta, I would be for Carol, and we'd both be yelling at each other. And then afterwards, it's all over, but because Al can yell. But he wasn't there 2016. But there was that third party candidate running, and I had to put up with the fact that they're saying that Carol Shea Porter is controlled by the DNC, which actually moved to defeat her, and which WikiLeaks revealed about. But I revealed that on this show, then I had to take the video and everything out, because I was passed on by the particular warhorse sends you a message. Oh, John Hopwood, you're funny. Come back to reality. Because they lower the boom on you. In the major municipal party that I'm talking about, when they had the election for the new head of the chair, we had Mike Farley wanted to run, who would be a good one, but he was a Bernie supporter. So Mike was there. I was there to support him. But they flood the vote with Young Democrats. Now, the Young Democrats organization might have been the Young Democrats at one point, but now it's a dark money PAC controlled by a professional lobbyist connected to a law firm in Portland, Maine that used to be connected with Muskie. It's there so it can violate neutrality. It can, endorse candidates and that. Yeah. And I'm just so sick of the corruption.
You know who I had so much respect for? Carol Shea Porter.
Yeah, because even if she was the most liberal person in New Hampshire politics ever, it's like Joe Lavasser used to be on the show, and he said,
that?
Well, I can't remember. Hi,
George.
Hi, but I have to leave in 2 minutes because my meter.
We're going to put you up here.
Okay.
But Lavasser would say, because we talk, he says, I respect her because she's real liberal. And I don't like her politics, but I like that she has integrity. And we're talking about when Ray Buckley and that they denied her the funds at the end, and she lost to Ginta for 10,000 votes. That affected every veteran in this state because
she was a veteran person, wasn't she?
Oh yeah, she was big with veterans. And the one thing I don't know much about Frank Ginta, but they always said in the union leader he was not good with the veterans.
That's
what he said. But the point is, and things really went to hell there at the time. But Buckley and they don't give a damn about that.
You know who this is? Steve Valancourt.
I do too.
Oh, I almost hit him on the Joe Lavasser show. I didn't think I was going to, but I have PTSD, which just got confirmed yet again.
But I loved him. Like, he hated me, right?
Oh, me too.
He hated me.
I hated everybody.
I didn't even know him. He was the nastiest guy I ever met.
But he told it like it was.
I sat next to him in the house for a while.
Oh, geez.
And he disliked me so much he has to change his seat. Which he did, and it was fine. But, I would make comments from my seat about stuff. But he would get up in the well of the house, and he would deliver the best speeches I'd ever heard.
Yeah, but I also heard they were the best speech for whatever it was until the last 2 minutes, and then he'd screw everything up by saying
Heil Hitler.
Yeah, or something like that.
But look what he did to...
Lavasser had to close the show down because he thought he was seeing me like getting really mad at Steve because I didn't even know I had PTSD.
What I found interesting was that he brought all this stuff about
I can tell you from researching that's all that was not true.
But
whatever you say, Buckley had nothing to do with kids.
The computer, I know about the computers end up disappearing from the.
I don't know.
I have no detail and
no
opinion.
No,
and let's
you
not.
Know what.
That is from what I know
happened.
by researching that no. He was mad at him for various reasons. He went for the sex angle, which is a very potent thing that can be used under the table.
Oh, yeah.
Because how can you defend yourself against that? And I know I saw you first on Norm's show trying to defend yourself against.
You came after me.
Yeah, but I didn't know what was going on.
I know you didn't have the details.
I was a journalist.
I know, but if you had the detail,
I didn't know who she was. But we can't. I'm not.
We're not.
She got popped up in my life, as I told you
a
while ago.
She got
out
popped
of the
up.
blue.
I actually literally kicked her off my show.
So,
Yeah.
but what happens?
But how can you defend yourself
You
against
can't.
that? And then when you're trying to defend yourself, because my sister was watching, because she watches Norm shows, it's like, oh, this is appalling. What kind of person is he? You can't. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's when did you stop committing adultery with your wife?
Exactly. I mean, after that, just to be, you'll find this amusing. After that, she made some accusations.
Yeah.
I had every note she'd ever written me. I went and saw the chief of police in Litchfield, and
yeah, I
I
know.
gave him all of them.
Right.
So that it's like, this is all the records. This is everything you need. And then whatever she says, feel free. They're all dated.
What happened with
Well,
me?
that's when you gave me that paper.
Yeah.
What happened with me is I gave Trent Spiner of the Union Leader information about a politician that had sexually harassed an employee of his. They just ignored it, and they go on endorsing the guy. And later on, he's harassing, we can use that word, a woman, a young woman, a teenager. And all of a sudden she pops up in my life and starts, oh, you should take all this stuff down, which I'd forgotten about, funny videos that I used to make that lampooning the guy. And then they didn't realize, because he was challenging me, oh, I'm going to sue you, that I had all her Facebook messages from before, which because I'd blocked her, she didn't have access to. So I have all the stuff.
She was going to stand up. The guy called us. Go out, show your.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus.
we
We know more about her than we can say on this TV
And I'm
show.
saying, we're not mentioning names,
It's
so
a
we're
fun-
safe. But she was literally going to stand up and show her breast.
And not even a man stood up.
No. And I said, no, you're not.
And they weren't even that interesting, let's be honest.
Well, but the point is, you can't defend yourself against stuff
No.
like that.
And if you're a politician, there's no recourse.
I know.
Isn't that
Ray,
sad?
Ray Buckley came after me like there was no tomorrow
That's
with that
politics,
mailer.
yeah.
And the thing that really bugged me about that is he took a letter she wrote,
Right, that
and then he cut off some words
Which
to
they all
change
do.
the meaning.
Of course, that's what you all do.
And it's like, you know what? I'm a straight up guy. Like, if you ask me, I'll tell you. I mean, you met me in the elevator, right? We had a nice
Oh,
conversation.
yeah. And
And
you
you're
Ooh,
like,
that sounds
who's
kinky.
this guy?
I'd already been, I got the, when you're dealing with something like that, it turns on you, too.
Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? We may not agree politically, but we should all be friends at the end of the day. We should be shaking hands. We should be talking about issues and figure out what we know in common as opposed to what we dislike about each other.
Right, and the thing was, I just met Matt, and we were going to become friends, but then that whole thing, so we didn't become friends for a year or so, and because of all that situation. Because nobody knows. I didn't know the story. I didn't know who the person was, and if I didn't talk to other parties about it.
If it was only me,
Yeah.
like my credibility would be wrecked.
Yeah.
But she has left such a stream.
Then she went after Gerard.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's not talk about that.
Right, I mean, but, we're going to change the subject. Anyway,
Okay,
folks,
let's
I'll
talk
to you
about-
guys later.
Are you
Well,
gonna-
I have to go put money in my meter. I'm already 4 minutes, and that's how we're balancing the budget here. Then I'm going on Matt's show.
okay, well,
Yeah,
you
hop
enjoy.
over
I'll
here.
hop over.
Yeah, we'll
Yep.
see you in the.
the one thing
Oh, can I
that
shake your hand, man?
Oh, sure, of course.
do it over
Yeah,
here where
yeah,
everybody can
yeah.
see it. Come
Thank
on,
you
over
very
here.
much.
Over here, both of you. Shake your hand over here where everybody
Oh,
can
I
see
gotta
it.
take Oh,
This-
over
this
you,
is-
Norm. Over
Yeah.
Norm's head. No.
This is picture worthy.
Yeah.
I'll send it to.
See that, folks? We don't hold grudges on this show. We're not. I will not, and George and I will not hold grudges. Am I right?
Absolutely not.
And the one thing that
Well, actually, Ray Buckley. That's my
that's a
thing.
different story.
Yeah.
'Cause
He hurt my family.
Yeah. You know what I find interesting? That none of the Democratic candidates are ever having that picture with him.
Really?
I've never seen him in the newspaper. I've never seen him on the news.
I've seen him on YouTube.
A welfare special. I mean, do they get paid for being in a position like they have?
He has that. If you look at the detail, I believe, and it appears as though he runs a marketing company that actually does mailers, design, and things for Democrats. Like he's like the guy's smart.
You gotta turn around a little bit more. Face the camera too.
The guy's real smart.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I can respect him for that.
Yeah, but I find it interesting. Ever since they said that about him, that I do not see him with. He was never with Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm.
He was never with Fort-tongue Warren. Well, doesn't Trump call it Pocahontas?
Yeah, he does.
Did you watch the speech?
Last night?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Wasn't that incredible?
It was the best. It was the best State of the Union I've ever watched, and I've watched almost every one since I was like 10.
Right. This is the first one I can honestly say. Even Scott and I both sat there and watched it, didn't we, Scott? And I can honestly say it was the first one I've ever watched and enjoyed it thoroughly.
Oh, me too. Actually, I love Trump's speech, but I have to tell you, what frosted the cake for me is Nancy Pelosi tearing up her copy of Trump's speech. After that, Hannity was on television last night, and he said, I'll pay $25,000 to anyone's favorite charity who can get me that document where she tore it up. You know, because it's so insulting to the process. It's like, you can be angry and you can be frustrated, but she's the Speaker of the House. She needs to treat
Did she have
the
a
state of the...
facelift?
I don't know.
He was on something.
Well, she's on Trump derangement syndrome, that's for sure. Have they acquitted him yet today?
I don't know. I haven't heard. If anybody could tell us.
Can I look that up on?
Sure.
All right, I'm going to do that.
And all the respect that he showed to the military man.
Oh.
And for, of course, I love Ross Limbaugh.
Oh, yeah, and he's got cancer now.
Yeah. Matt and I had big discussions on that.
Mm-hmm.
He was not a Rush Limbaugh fan.
Yeah.
That's what made him and I interesting on our show, because we didn't agree on the political parts.
Right. He actually seems like he's, neutrally left, and that's okay. I used to love hanging out with Matt.
Well, he was my co-host for 6 years. And because of him, I haven't smoked. Folks, even though Matt and I may have disagreed politically, we're still good friends.
Yep.
And
that's what happens here.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
I'm friends with almost everyone here.
Yeah. And if anybody needs to be hypnotized for overweight, or if anybody needs to be hypnotized for...
He's not doing hypnosis at the moment because he's too busy, but I called him. I've actually been hypnotized by him.
Me too.
Yeah.
I haven't smoked a cigarette in maybe 7 years.
Well, I tried to get him to get me off cigarettes and a couple of other things, and some other things stuck.
But you have to want to get off it.
Yeah.
And I was, my son, who I never thought would be into political views, he and I, man, we have hours of talking, texting each other, And I have to tell you, folks, it was exciting to have my daughter-in-law come over Monday, because she had major surgery. It was a month before we can get to see her. So she came over, we had dinner. Of course, she beat me at Scrabble, which I'm not surprised at. You play Scrabble?
I don't. I play cribbage and I play poker.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. I play strip poker and lost every time.
Well, of course you did. You did
I
that
wanted
on purpose.
to.
Exactly. Oh,
But
Mitt Romney voted to convict Trump.
Why am I not surprised?
Right. Exactly.
That's like the lady that was on George Hopwood's show. She and I will definitely have a different political, but she's coming on the show because she does acupuncture. Yeah. So she's going to be coming on. So I'm excited about having her come on, because at first she would talk to me. Folks, I am not a Republican. I am not a Democrat. I'm an independent with a mind on my own.
You do have a mind of your own. That's why we get along.
Have to. See, and the sad part is there's so many people out there that try to take it away from us. And I love when he said about Trump said about the Second Amendment right, how he's not going to let anybody take it away from us.
I know.
And when I cried when he gave that military man the compliment, the 100-year-old man.
Yeah.
A medal, was it, or something? A lot, and his wife gave him that, and I cried. And then when Rush Limbaugh got that medal, I think he deserved it.
He did. I mean, like, literally, if you have stage 4 cancer,
and he has
stage 4 cancer,
I believe that's a healing stage for him.
He changed the dynamic of talk radio.
Yeah.
I mean,
he told it like it was.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't like him at first. No. Like, I found that he was aggressive. The first time I heard him, he was talking about the congressional checkbooks. Do you remember the congressional check writing
Yeah.
scam? And it's like, and he didn't care, Republican or Democrat, whoever was doing it, if you were writing checks that you were not going to pay back, because they give you a checkbook, and you just write checks. And it's like, oh, you have an account. You overdraft it, no problem.
I have a very dear friend who lives in Virginia. She is the, she approves of the credit cards that the Secret Service use or not. And then so I'm saying, what are they going to do? They come knocking on my door and saying Secret Service? I wouldn't know. But I love her dearly. In the work that I do, Joy, I am so blessed because I meet people from all over the world. All over the world.
Mm-hmm.
I've had them from Russia, Ukraine, Uruguay, is that how they pronounce it? Uruguay or something like that?
Uruguay,
yep. And Brazil, Argentina. I've been blessed.
Yeah.
And folks, never take whatever you have. Like you're a rebel. You and I think that's why you and I get along so well, 'cause we're both rebels.
Right.
And John Hopwood.
Yeah.
I'm not going to conform. Are you going to conform?
What's that?
Are you going to conform to the way people want you to think?
Absolutely not. Somebody asked me early on. They said, and I hope I don't get in trouble for this. They said, would you put people on a train?
On a train?
Yeah. Now, this is a hard question. Because when you think about it, this is a reference to Germany.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that.
Okay? But, how far back in the chain will you stop bad behavior? Okay? You got the guys over here who are going to put people into a locked place.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
But if you know over here putting them on the train is going to get them over here, where in the funnel are you going to get involved? And when somebody asked me that question, I said I'm getting involved early, which is why I got into politics. I fight for not my party, but for what is the most honest and correct behavior for the people in general.
Oh, how's my favorite young lady doing?
She is doing very well. I have to say she's out with her boyfriend today.
Oh, she better behave.
Yeah. I have
Uncle
assurance
will
from.
be Uncle will be there with a spirit.
But however, she's coming to your event to do fire in September, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. And I've announced it on my Facebook. Mm-hmm. And I got to get you on my Facebook because there we could really be.
I don't do much on Facebook. Well, I respond to messages on Messenger.
But I had over 100 people watching my show yesterday.
Uh-huh.
So it's in my wildest dream did I ever, and they all say, well, how come you don't read yourself? First of all, I'm not supposed to.
Uh-huh.
I don't read family members.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And and actually, I believe that you and I knew each other in our past.
Probably. And we get along so well.
Yeah. I'm a believer in past life.
These are reading glasses. Do you mind if I take them off?
No, I don't care.
Then I can actually see you. All right. I would like to, if you will give me the opportunity, I would like to be the first person to officially tell you that Trump has been acquitted on both charges. He did not get the win that he wanted because one Republican senator voted against.
That's a black sheep in a throne. I know
that's Romney.
Yeah, we know that. But he got acquitted?
Yep.
You heard it first, Norm. Norm's Community Corner. Thank you, George Lambert, for letting the people know.
Yeah.
Go Trump, our future president. I think he should serve.
Only Trump can beat Trump at this point.
Right. Now Nancy Pelosi is supposed to resign.
Is she really?
That's what she said.
When did she say that?
Before they went to, if he was acquitted, she was going to resign.
Really?
Yeah, but it says it on Facebook, so how far is Facebook? But this is what my son says something very interesting because he should automatically be able to serve an extra 3 years for all the garbage that they have put him through.
No, he needs to win legit.
He needs. Oh, he will.
He needs to. Basically, our economy is great.
Yeah.
Okay. We haven't started any new wars. Everybody complains about his Twitter account, which I find incredibly funny. Okay, because every time he tweets something.
Is he actually tweeting, or is it one of his co-workers?
No, I think it's actually him tweeting.
Is it?
But what I find really funny is he'll make a tweet, right? And there's something else going on over here. And he makes a tweet and the press goes after this and they don't pay attention to what he's doing. He's actually reduced more regulation and nobody's talking about it. He's reduced a whole bunch of restrictions on business. Nobody's talking about it. All of the things that he accomplished, the things he was talking about in the State of the Union, are because he got things done, not because he was tweeting.
And you know what I think is interesting is the fact that he has brought the pharmaceutical prices down lower.
Yep, but he isn't done.
No, I am, because last year, or what old Obamacare, or Trumpacare, or Obama, I paid a lot of money.
Yep.
Now I don't pay hardly anything for my insurance, and I have a great insurance. Folks, and I love it. If you are interested in getting new, check out Aetna. They pay for me to go to the gym.
Yep.
And I only pay very minimal on my medication. Trump, you're the man.
So there's a pill that prescription pill that I take. It's not Viagra, by the way.
Oh, yeah,
just
you
so,
don't need
just
that
so that
yet,
we're, I know. But my time is coming, I'm sure. But I have a pill that I take that at the pharmacy is $72 a dose.
Wow.
Right? And my insurance company rejected it. Okay? Now that same pill in India is $2.
The first, when
$2.
Yeah.
It's $70 more here. And so my doctor says, by the way, you should buy it overseas. And so I do. I actually have it shipped to me overseas. They write what it is right on the package. And sometimes they come in, sometimes they don't. And then, I'll get a friendly letter from the customs department saying you really shouldn't buy your meds from overseas. Once we start doing that, and we get the best pricing or from these pharmaceutical companies, we will drop our cost for prescription medication to whatever the lowest price in the world is. That's a good thing. That will help people all the time.
I pay for a 90-day prescription, I pay $1.05.
Walmart?
I'm sorry?
Walmart?
No, CVS.
Okay.
I had to pull away from, because my Walgreens was not on my list, so I went to CVS, which is just as close, you know. I'm fortunate. And then, I am so blessed. Every time I look out and see it, I'm like, Sununu's doing a heck of a good job.
Isn't he?
He's incredible. And my son wrote him a comment to Sununu, and Sununu, he went, and so he's got it on his wall because Sununu responded back to him.
They do that.
Yeah. No, King didn't.
Sununu.
Yeah.
Sununu's
the
office.
Democrats don't.
Well, Democrats do what Democrats do.
Yeah.
They raise money and, they show up in the morning. The first thing that they start doing is dialing for dollars.
Right.
Okay? They dial for dollars and then they do business.
Even though my friend Bill Berry's a Democrat, I still have a lot of respect for him. I really do.
Oh, I have incredible respect for people who are Democrats. I have less respect for people who get into government and become Democratic drones. Because I know people who were really open-minded, liberty people who got into New Hampshire politics, got into the Democratic Party, and were whipped into shape every single week on how to vote. They get handed a sheet saying, this is the way you vote. That's it. And if you don't vote with us, we will basically harass you until you do.
Well, I was outside, and I had my Trump hat out where I live. And these Democrats came by. And I said, I'm not interested. They said, well, we can come back and take care of it. I said, are you threatening me? And they took on. I've gone into restaurants with a Trump hat on, and they will not serve me.
I went and took a Trump flag and waved it out here on the street, down by the park. Okay? I had 2 people tell me off. And I had more people beeping the horn and putting their thumb up.
including police officers.
Yeah. I went to the Trump rally they had here.
Are you going on Monday?
I had the tickets for it. So
Great.
yeah. Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'd rather stand outside.
What's that?
I'd rather be outside than inside the building.
Oh, I like inside, but
Because outside, I had this one lady. She's
although I could smoke if I was outside.
yeah.
Hey, here's a
there you
benefit.
go. Well, I could do my, but anyway. But
I just got a prescription.
did you?
Yeah.
Good for you. It's going to help you.
I hope so.
Yeah, I know. But I'm walking by and I have the Trump, Trump hat, and I said, the only one no one has balls like Trump to carry through what we had on there, And I still got it hanging in my closet. I even wore it over here, And
Have you seen the Joe Biden one where it's got the hands?
Yeah, and that's a pervert as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But this lady standing, she's looking at me going, red. I said, are you crying because Joe Biden is not winning? And then I caught two ladies. They're going to wear their mask there. If you were going to beat people up because they are Trump fans, don't hide your face.
Absolutely.
Don't be a coward.
Right. Absolutely. Show up.
Yeah. They said, you're going to, I saw them, actually, my friend and I, we were in New York, and this little old lady, they thought they was watching, minding their own business. Mm-hmm. And these two masked banditos, decided it was cool to beat her up.
Wow.
Well, my friend is a karate black belt expert. Mm-hmm. Somehow those two people just landed on, see how that accident happened, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm purple belt. I know how to make sure that I'm walking away safe.
Yeah, And I have a lot, in fact, one of my very good friends is going to have a table down at my event to talk about Taekwondo. And I'm going to try to get my acupuncture lady to come in. I'm working now on having
acupuncture's cool.
Have you had it done?
Yeah. I didn't think I would like it. I'm like, needles, but you barely feel it, but it actually relaxes all your muscles. And they normally put heat on your feet. And I've never had that done before, but heat on your feet, it's incredibly soothing. And then they put a couple needles in there, and you're going like, what? You don't feel the
I'm actually going to have it on my TV show.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, John Hopwood and I are going to be coming on. Scott's going to have it done, and I'm going to probably have it done too.
Okay, who's going to be inserting the needles, and then who's going to be receiving? And what's the date?
March. I'll text you and let you know if you want to come.
Do I get to get stuck?
Only in the penis.
There isn't enough to actually,
No, yeah.
I
apologize, folks, but no.
They couldn't put in two needles there.
No, actually, if you're there, she has time and she wants to do it. Okay. She's the county something probate.
The register of probate.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah. So she's a Birdie fan.
Well,
but I looked at her and I said, you know what? That's not going to interfere with I said, I want you to come on. I want you to do that.
I respect Bernie fans. A lot of them are young, okay? And here's what they're looking at. They're looking at student debt, which is going to crush them. Yeah. They're looking at 1% of the population controlling most of the wealth.
Any viewers, Scott?
Yeah, Sherry Cole's watching.
Okay. How about if I do an audience reading? What do you think?
Sure.
An audience reading. What do you think?
Sounds great.
Then we'll do a couple on you.
Okay.
About your sex life?
What's that?
About your sex life?
Whatever you want, man.
See, that's what's fun with George and I. We can have fun.
George has no restraint in terms of answering questions.
Yeah. One of the guys, NC, are you running for state rep again?
I'm running for something. We'll see what.
You're going to win. We got to get rid of some of the, like Donna Susie and some of them people.
You know what? If it's looking like, a Trump sweep, I will probably run against Donna Susie because she is, in my opinion, a disaster.
And that's the whole. Don't you think that once they get into a certain comfort zone, and that's both Republican and Democrats.
Yeah.
And once they get into this comfort zone, and they keep reelected. I think there should be a time limit for state reps. I think there should be a time limit for senators. Look at Lou D'Alessandro.
You know what I
He's
know?
been there 100 years.
So I ran for Senate, and I learned some things about, like, once you're running, once you pass the primary, there's a couple secrets, and I'm going to reveal them to the public right now. And that is, if you have been elected, they will do anything, both parties will do anything to keep you in your office.
Now, are there actually lobbyists at the state capitol?
Are there lobbyists?
Yeah.
There's a whole registration process. If you are a lobbyist in the state capitol, you have to wear an orange badge, just like a hunter, so that you're identifying who you are. And you can go in and look at the files and see who their clients are and how much they're being paid. So yes, there are lobbyists, and there's public record on who they are.
And people, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that take the bribe.
You don't.
I shouldn't call it a bribe, but I mean,
No, it's not
a token fee.
It's not a bribe per se, as much as it is a campaign contributions.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So we'll call it vote pro quo.
Okay. So what? Okay, if you're running for state rep, or you're running for, we'll say governor or state rep or whatever, and you got a huge fund that you might have lost.
Yeah.
What happened to that money?
You donate it to a similar cause, another candidate, another whatever. Democrats do this all the time. What they do is they actually get money, right, from some people. They transfer it to someone else. They transfer it to a third person. They transfer it back. So it looks like they have all generated more money, because the trick to raising money is the more money you raise, the more belief people have that you can win. It's like a hot air balloon, right? The trick in politics is to become invincible. Everyone needs to know that you're going to win, okay? For example, people are talking about AOC running for a Senate seat. She will win, right? Because she's got the name recognition, okay? She'll be able to generate the money, and she's got influence.
No, who's AOC? That's that mother.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She's one of the 4 people in the squad. She's from New York City. She knocked out an incumbent representative who'd been there for a long time. And she actually brought out young people. And I was saying to you before, they went and brought the message to young people. Look,
don't bang the table.
You're going to get crushed in student debt. You're going to get crushed in taxation. You're going to have no money. You'll be lucky to live with your parents. And, but none of that really matters, because the environment will be so destroyed in 10 years, none of it will matter. So we need the Green New Deal, and we need to get the 1% to pay for it, and we need to basically redistribute the wealth. That's our story.
I don't believe in the climate change yet.
Well, I believe in climate change.
Because it's already happened.
Climate change is
for centuries.
Yeah. Actually, if you want to see an interesting show, every morning at 5 a.m., there is on YouTube, you can go and watch Suspicious Observers, okay? And it will show you the solar weather. So it'll show you the weather across the planet and the weather from the sun and all of the statistics, so that you can actually get the real detail. And you can see beautiful pictures. Shuffle those. Okay.
This is for anybody that's out there. When I did the show yesterday, it was so cool because the cards fell right in the line. Mm-hmm. And when the people that were there, a lot of them thanking me, getting readings and stuff like that.
Can we do a reading for Donald Trump?
Sure.
We'll
do it now.
No, we have to do your visit. You have to do your audience first.
Okay.
What's that?
Yeah. My problem is, I will tell you now, because of health reasons, he's going to definitely be reelected. Uh-huh. But I think he may not be able to finish the 4th year. Due to health reasons. I don't really want
He still will have changed the nation.
Oh, yeah. He's making a hell of a comeback.
He's the first politician we've sent to Washington that I can remember who actually kept his campaign promises.
And he's not done yet.
No.
Okay.
You know who I like for the U.S. Senate seat right now, though? Bill O'Brien.
The one that's right for you.
U.S. Senate.
Yeah.
Because when he was Speaker of the House, there was one thing you could rely on. If he gave you his word, you could believe it.
Yeah. Okay, why don't you grab a card? This is for you people out there in TV land, I guess you call it?
Yes.
Viewerland.
Viewerland.
Facebook. There we go. An abundance. Yeah, I don't have my, yeah, there we go. An abundance. Now that, believe me, folks, there's a lot of abundance coming to all of us. Abundance. It means it could mean bad news. It could be, oh my God, all this is going to happen at one time, but it's not. And it's going to be a celebration of prosperity for everyone as long as you allow it to happen. We at the viewers out there, each and every one of you, I'm not doing the political part right now, each and every one of you have a right to have an abundance of love, to have an abundance of financial gain, to have an abundance of healing. Healing is the biggest part that I'm seeing with people out there. You don't have to be sick anymore. Some people, I don't know if people really know how to get better, if they've been sick for a long period of time.
If they don't believe they can get better,
they're not going.
They're not going to. Like, very much, a lot seems to be belief as much as anything else.
That's like, I believe that I'm going to get rid of my diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm changing my diet.
Yep.
I went out and bought me 2 mini skirts and a pair of high heels.
Perfect.
Yeah, so I thought I'd look better.
Yeah.
And then today I thought I was going to lose my, I forgot my cell phone. I actually walked very quickly to my house and back to the bus stop. And you know what, folks? I felt better.
Yeah.
I didn't stagger, did I, Scott? I didn't stagger. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. And there are times when I have to force myself to walk. So that's an abundance. That's an abundance of that healing. Folks, every one of us have an abundance of love that we can give to each other. You do not have to dwell on the poor me's.
Absolutely
not. All up to you. You don't have to say, I've lost everything financially. I lost all. Have you?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you've also brought yourself back, huh?
Yes, I have.
Isn't it up to you?
What's that?
Isn't it all up to us if we can improve our
Absolutely.
lives?
I think it's all about gratitude, right? I'm grateful for the sun coming up in the morning. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my health. Even with my health problems, I'm grateful for what I got. I'm grateful for my friends. Okay, I'm grateful for my enemies. I mean, you just saw somebody who, the first time that I actually met him, it was in the elevator here, in person.
Yeah.
And when I told him who I was, it was like, hi. He says, I'm John Hopwood. And I'm like, hi, I'm George Lambert. He backed right up against the wall. Yeah, and he thought, and I'm like, hey, congratulations. I'm grateful for my enemies.
Yeah. When I first met John, he and I had a very difference of opinion. And then he and Matt came on my show as a guest, and I was horrified. Because they were talking about inappropriate behavior and stuff like that. And actually, Paul, who was the cameraman, actually told him to cut it out. And I swore I would not have John back on again. And now John and I are friends. You learn to forgive and to forget.
Well, and, he's in the media. Like, you pick the story that is going to get you traffic.
Right.
Yeah.
He loves the attention.
I know he does. Yeah. So do I.
Yeah,
I mean, let's be honest. That's why we do this.
I'm an entertainer.
Yeah.
Whether I do cards, whether I do a TV show, I'm an entertainer, like you are. When you're in politics, aren't we entertaining people?
Absolutely.
And
representing. Like, I actually really care about the people I represent. I take phone calls. I try to respond to every single email.
That's one thing I got to give my friend Bill Berry for. He does. He responds to that. And I want to say congratulations to my good friend Ross Terrell.
Ross Terrell?
Yeah, he won the Alderman.
Excellent.
And I actually predicted
that
he was going to win. I actually see him running for mayor.
I think he'd be a good mayor.
I do too. So he's going to come on my show.
Excellent.
Pick out one more.
Pick out another card.
Yeah.
I hope it's gratitude, but it's not.
Time to soar.
I like that.
I'm sorry?
I like that.
Time to soar. Time to let our energy go up to the heavenly skies. I say, is there a heaven?
I think so.
Okay. Time to let it go to the heavenly sky. Time to let your energy soar over the mountain. Soar over things. Soar in a positive reflection of people. You are strong. You are a very loving person. I don't care how bad you think you are. Deep inside, there's a loving spirit within you.
Yep.
I don't care if you've done a lot of things. You might have been a mass murderer. You might have been, and I hate to use that term, child molester, because it's an ugly term. People.
It is.
But there's something inside of you that can change.
There's a potential for good in everyone.
Yeah. And you know, I find it interesting, George, is that these people that do it on the internet, they deserve to get caught. You know, that they can pick up people, young girls or boys or whatever. Mm-hmm. They deserve to get caught.
Well, I hope so. You know, because it's not good. It's not good for them. It's not good for the public.
No, and I feel sad for the children. You know, but the one thing, time to soar is. You know how when you go right here?
There is going to be the largest political pep rally that we have ever seen happening next week.
Yeah, in Manchester.
In Manchester.
After Southern New Hampshire.
The Sanu, I don't know.
That's Sanu.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's the
Okay. And folks, I'm looking at 12,000 people being there or more.
I say it's more. They had almost 12,000 people there last time.
I know, but I had such a good time there.
Can I tell you a stupid story?
What's new?
Okay. So I went out and my wife brought me a case of water. And it was a hot day. Okay, because he came and it was a hot day. And I had a chair and a case of water. And I'm like, it was bottles like this. And I'm like, people shouldn't be out in the heat without water. So I started walking around with my case of water saying, here you go, free water. And people are like, why are you doing this? And I'm like, you're out here, you're supporting Trump, you're like standing out here, you're hot, etc. And people started giving me money as a donation towards the water.
Yeah.
And I didn't okay, so I got to the end of my end of my case of water, but I had money. So I walked across the street. I walked over, I think it was Market Basket. I took all the money I had just gotten, I put it into water, and I came back, and I went all the way to the end of the line.
Didn't it make you feel good?
It did. And you know, some friends of my daughter were talking about the guy who was giving out water the next day.
You know what I find interesting, that these, what do you call them, these people that sell the hats and the shirts and all that.
For too much money.
They really do. And in fact, one of them and I both sent our hats back and it said made in China.
Absolutely.
I won't buy anything that's not made in China.
Well, nobody's going to want anything from China at the moment.
I wonder if Trump knew that it was made in China.
I don't know.
But those, what do you call them there, whatever you want to call them, the panhandlers or whatever, then they could have killing it. And then after I got home and I saw my T-shirt, I saw what, I don't know what the heck. And here's a young man that is 15, just turned 16. Mm-hmm. I gave him my Make America Great hat again. I gave him my jackknife that he had, that we got. Mm-hmm. And he is, oh my God, you would have thought I gave him $1 million. Mm-hmm. Don't underestimate our teenagers, kids. Don't underestimate. They have a mind of their own.
They do.
But anyway, we're going to stop all that right now. Time to soar is time to allow your body to heal.
Okay.
Allow the finances to improve. Uh-huh. Time for the homeless people to start saying, I'm going to get off my buttocks, and I am going to find a place, and I am going to better myself. The agencies don't seem to want to help.
I'm not sure that's the whole story, because I've actually met people when I was coming into your show who were homeless, who were outside. I gave one of them my jacket about a year ago when it was cold, and I said, I'm sorry, I have to go and do Norm's show right now, but here's my jacket. And I walked him down the street he said he was hungry. I walked him down the street to the sub shop, and I bought him a sandwich.
Yeah.
And I said, you now have a jacket and a sandwich. I'll be back in 2 hours. I will take you so that we can go and find out what programs you're available for assistance.
Did he show up?
He wasn't there. He kept my jacket, never, gone.
See, the thing is, that you can have a lot of agencies.
Yeah.
But the people have to want the help.
Yep.
And it's like when I first started getting sober, it took me a long time. And then when I finally hit rock bottom and got sober, and I'm going to tell you, the Greater Manchester Mental Health had the Best Day program that I ever went to. The director was a no-nonsense person, and he told me like it was. And then my son congratulated me. That was the best part, you know. Hope. I don't believe in hope.
Actually, I don't either.
You can-
Hope is where preparation meets opportunity.
Right. And Emerson Wildfire who's a very good friend of mine from Nashua. We talked to her. We asked about the angels. We talked about hope. She said, the angels will hope with you. You know, as long as you want to hope things are going to get better, it's up to you. But if you say, I know, you know you're a good guy, right? You don't have to hope you're a bad guy.
No.
You know that you have intelligence, okay? Like you have a beautiful family.
I do. Oh my God.
And that's like I.
Sorry,
have a
I
beautiful family.
get
cool.
gushy over my family.
Right, you know, but didn't we earn that?
I think. Well, I didn't. They did. Man, they are just incredible.
But then you earn their right to be there with them.
Yep.
And you earn their.
And I earn it every day.
You know, and as long as we are grateful for what we have in family, and the hope isn't necessary. My granddaughter will call me at 7 o'clock in the morning. Grandpa, blah, 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 blah. But you know what? I listen to it because it's important to her. It's important for her to call me. Hope. Hope is you will, you know, like that. Remember that, you know, that ship Hope? Where it's a medical ship where they go all over the seas, okay? Hope people will get better. Hope that this is going to happen. I'll sit there and I'll hope with you. I don't mind, won't you?
Yeah, well, but I
If
won't
you wanna
roll
hope-
around in the mud with you.
No. But if you want to hope and, I hope it will get better. I'll look at when people that come into my office for, you know, either readings or for counseling, because I do spiritual counseling, I'll throw the hope away and know that it's going to get better. Don't, you know, if you're relying on hope, a lot of times I'll say, well, I hope you'll do well, and I have to catch myself. I know you're going to do well. Like, how's your wife doing with her new job?
Very well, thank you.
Said it,
You said she was going to get it, and there it was.
Yep. One more card here.
Okay, can I say something about the hope thing?
Yeah.
My dad was a minister. I don't know if I've ever told you that.
No.
And he said you
you
could
poor
pray.
man. What
he
happened
said-
to you?
I know, huh? He said you can pray all you want, but it's your responsibility to put feet on your prayers and make it work.
And isn't it right?
Absolutely.
You know?
All right, let's see what we got here.
Rest. No, is that rest or rise? Rest.
That says rest.
Okay.
It does.
Rest. You know what happens a lot of times, George? People get so acclimated into going boom, 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 that they don't know how to rest. They don't know how to take time for themselves. They don't know how to take, you know, and say, okay, because actually when they're laying down to get a good night's sleep, their subconscious mind is still working. Then subconscious mind and rest. We need to rest.
Yeah. It helps us to recharge.
Right. And, you know, and sometimes I'll take a sabbatical, you know, from doing readings, but I never miss my show up. And maybe once I had to take some time off to regroup, you know. And that's like what you do, because you work online too, right?
I do. I don't work, because of my health issues, I don't work as much as I used to.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was like when I was, you know, chasing a career and working in the State House all the time, it was hard to stop and smell the flowers.
Right. Now, when you get listen to what I'm saying now. When you get reelected, do you have the energy to do what you're supposed to be doing?
That and the passion.
Okay. Because when you get congratulations, Senator. But when you get reelected or get elected, you're not going. You can't hope.
No.
You can't. You need to learn how to rest your mind because you have a very active mind. You sing in your sleep.
My wife says I also sign checks in my sleep.
Oh, well, I'm going to come and wake you right up then. Okay. You know.
And she says I write code in my sleep too.
Well.
I'll like be typing in the air.
Well, that's like when I came out of physiology. You know, I had a gallbladder removed. I was at the hospital, Hitchcock Hospital in Lebanon, and I said to my daughter-in-law, "I hope my makeup's on straight and my hair is okay." Because this doctor was like 7 foot tall, you know, and all that, and they were just laughing like there was no matter, you know. But when we learn how to relax our mind and learn how to take rest from what we're doing, pull away from even take a break. If you're online and you're doing your work and you're doing diddly daddly do. That's a new way of saying things, by the way.
You know, I have YouTube on the television in my house, in my bedroom, and when it's time to go to bed, I put on Tibetan bowls. You know,
Yep.
and just black screen, Tibetan bowls, meditation sound. It is incredible.
I'm
when I fall
actually
asleep.
sending out a Facebook message to have a girl who plays the Tibetan bowls.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to try to get her to come on. I have another lady who's doing Christmas. This year, I'm excited about this year. It's going to be exciting.
It sounds like
so
you have an incredible lineup.
if they
I'm
all
not going to
fall
be.
through-
I'm not going to be back here until next year, based on your schedule.
No, you'll always be back. You and I have to instigate problems once in a while.
One would
It'd
hope.
be rather boring, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
And then, of course, I have my incredible cameraman, Scott, who lines it all up
Thank you,
for me.
Scott.
And we have, and the studio has an incredible staff here.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I want to congratulate Jim, what's his last name? Oliver for starting the show yesterday. He's a poet.
Does he know it?
That's what I was just going to say. And I am going to, Mary and I,
High five. Come on. There you
Mary
go.
and I have encouraged him to do it. Anybody who lives in this area, I would encourage you to have your own show.
Mm-hmm.
But please, by all means, be positive.
And have fun with it.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah. So I feel gay today. That's okay, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. I just forgot to dye my hair. You know.
Okay. Can I have a hug?
Sure.
You will stay as you want around
honey,
me, because
yeah.
you know what? That's all right.
Yeah. And well, my partner and I've been together 23 years.
I know that. That's why it's okay to give you a hug.
Yeah. See, he's not jealous.
Uh-huh. I heard that last time I was here.
Yeah. We are doing a lot of planning on doing some traveling.
Mm-hmm.
How would you're pretty smart.
I used to be smart.
How do I go about getting a passport now, or a real ID?
Funny you should ask that question, because I just went through the process. So, depending on where you want to go, there's a card passport,
Okay.
which is for traveling on boat and car to the United States, Canada, and Mexico. So this is basically for regular travel. If you want a book, you go out, you call the post office, you make an appointment at the Manchester post office. They schedule you an appointment. You go in. There's a form you fill out. They ask you some questions. They want to see some documentation. They want your ID and things like that. They want your birth certificate, etc. Now, this is an ID with real ID on it, as
Right, that's
opposed
what I wonder how to get.
Okay, so you have to take a pay stub or a utility bill or something to prove where you live. Okay, you need to take. There's a list of the things. It's like
Yeah, 'cause I get
three
your
of these
inbox,
and
yeah.
2 of those, but you make sure you just bring those in, and then they validate them, and then you'll get a little star here. The difference between this ID and the other one is the star. So real ID versus this, no difference.
The real
Does
ID.
that help?
Yeah. Thank you. Because the real ID, it's like a passport, right?
Yeah. Now I can actually use this passport card to board a plane.
Yeah.
They say that you either need a passport or real ID now, and so this is convenient, right? Somebody asked me for my ID. You really want to freak them out? Pull out one of these passport cards they've never seen before. They don't know what to do with it.
Yeah. Oh, good. That is good. Valid. I'm going to go online today. When I get home. You know what people don't realize either is that you don't have to roll your window all the way down when a police officer stops you. All you have to do is have it maybe just enough to pass your driver's license to them in their permission.
Yep. However, I will tell you,
They'll make it rough for you.
they will. Can I endorse someone on here, or is that
Sure.
against the rule? Okay. So New Hampshire Legal Services is run by a guy named Seth Hipple. And his business card is my favorite business card of all time, because it's a bumper sticker. And it says on the back, "I do not consent to searches
under Article whatever it is in the New Hampshire Constitution, all questions will be answered by my attorney and the phone number. So
I
you
like
could,
that.
You
Yeah.
can literally say, my attorney's number's on the back.
Right.
And then he always tells me, when they stop you, you have to answer certain questions. You have to say who you are, give them an identification. You have to tell them where you're coming from, where you're going, okay, your place of business. That's fine. You got to answer those questions. After you're done with that, okay, so they can actually do an ID check on you. He says, you ask if you're being detained. Asking you for being detained is an interesting question. Because if you are being detained, you have different rights. But when you ask and he says yes or no, if he says no, you leave.
Yeah, no. That's why I can remember one time my ex-wife, my third ex-wife, and I was driving too fast, and they pulled us over, and she was really ill. I said, "Oh, I'm rushing to the ER. I mean, the emergency room because she's in labor." Yeah. She wasn't, and they called our bluff, and they took it right to the hospital.
Happened to me. Did it? I was going 75 and a 40. Yeah.
But I managed to go in one door, and then they said, "Can I work at the hospital?" Plus, my father was a judge. What can I tell you? He was a strong Republican from New London, New Hampshire. New London's a very strong Republican town.
Well, you know what I love about New Hampshire is New Hampshire isn't really red or blue.
No.
New Hampshire is libertarian. Look at the candidates. Politics is in people's living rooms. It's in cafes and shops and television programs like this. You get to meet the candidates and vet the candidates.
You know what the sad part is?
Did you say you wanted one more?
Wait, one more. The sad part is when these candidates go into the restaurants, the restaurant doesn't make any money.
Yeah.
They really don't, because you got the cameraman sitting on the table, or the people just coming in to see the politician. He doesn't spend any money, and so it's all. But I guess it's good publicity. Keep on talking. I'll be right back. You can talk to the.
Did you want one more?
Yeah, I'm going to run up to the bathroom.
Okay.
Keep on talking. You can do that, can't you?
I can.
All right.
All right. Can I talk about the candidates? No. All right. I'll wait till you get back.
No, you can.
I can.
Yeah.
So.
Why don't you talk positive?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Buttigieg is going to be making big appearances here in the next couple of weeks, or the next week. I haven't met him yet, but he's going to be an interesting guy to talk to because he's trying to go from mayor to president.
Yep.
So, yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on here in Manchester over the next couple of weeks with politics. If you are at all interested and engaged, no matter what party you're in, go out, make a couple phone calls, and meet the candidates. Go to a rally and, feel the energy, ask questions, listen to other people ask questions, and be involved. If you don't be involved, then nobody will hear your voice. Your voice is just as important as everyone else's. Figure out where your voting place is. Make sure you're registered to vote. Make sure you can show up and vote not only in the primary, but in the general election in the fall. Most people who are regular voters always show up, and people who aren't regular voters never show up. They don't even know when the election is. Sort of like me in the Super Bowl. I couldn't tell you when the Super Bowl was if my life depended on it. Somebody says, who do you like in the Super Bowl? And I said, the commercials. Okay, maybe that wasn't that funny, but I didn't even know who was playing. Same thing with baseball, but I can tell you which teams are engaged in, what political games, because that's my interest. Most people don't make a decision on who they're going to vote for until the last week. Get educated. You'll find it fun, and, it's very, very simple. I did a thing with a waitress in a restaurant once. We were the only customers in the restaurant, this particular restaurant. And I wrote down a whole bunch of topics, okay? And I said, I want you to tell me which way you want to vote on this topic, for or against. And I wrote down a whole bunch of controversial topics. And she took out a pen and she checked which one she wanted. which one she wanted. And I said, okay, would you be willing to take and vote for the candidate who agreed with you on most on these issues? And she said, who's that? And I says, you don't know. I don't know. But it would be a better way to actually evaluate our political candidates, because a lot of times we evaluate them based on how much we hear their name, how much they spend on advertising, etc. You guys have probably all seen the Get the Money Out of Politics. A Senate seat in New Hampshire competition will cost tens of millions of dollars. We have 1.5 million people approximately in the state. Yeah, you know what the alternative is? They're spending $8 a person to try to reach out to you. Isn't that amazing? $8. Wouldn't you rather they just put $8 in an envelope, sent it to you, and said, hey, read my material?
I am back.
Thank you for coming back. I hope I didn't say anything too bad.
I didn't hear anything.
Good.
Why don't you say nice things about me?
I didn't while you were gone.
Wow, that's not nice.
Well, but if I was going to say nice things about you, I want you to be here to hear it.
Well, okay. Why don't you say bad things too? No. But anyway, grab another.
Oh, grab another. All right. I wanted to grab this one before because it feels like the right one. You know how that?
Yeah. The energy.
There's that. Yeah.
Now, is your daughter is married, right?
My daughter is not yet married.
However,
as far as she's concerned, she's just waiting for the ring.
Yeah.
I mean, they're making plans. He's like applying to go in the military. She's planning on going with him.
They better be careful. You're going to be a grandfather for a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Father.
That would make her very happy.
Good. Father Time.
Father Time.
Father Time is saying it's time for changes. It's time to let go of the past. It's time to say, you know what? I don't need to live in today. Father Time has been around like God, or the goddess and goddess, and that Father Time represents to me that it's a strong time to let go. Father Time is always going to be here.
Yeah, time. It's the only thing.
Right,
the only thing you can't.
You can waste it away, or you can make something useful for yourself. Mm-hmm. I have a lot of good friends who are handicapped. See, I don't believe in the inversion handicap because of the fact that a lot of them that are so-called handicapped are improving their lives. Mm-hmm. There are some, obviously,
they're making better use of the time they have.
Right, like I had a young man that came on that was blind, and he sounded just like Jim Reeves. He played the guitar, and he sang. Another one had autism. In fact, they were on together, and to hear them together, they didn't even know each other, and to hear them together was incredible. If I could ever get a hold of them again, I would actually do that. Your daughter, the one that comes on the show, she's got a great future ahead of her.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. She also has a mind of her own.
Oh, doesn't she?
She has her mother's mind.
She does.
You want another child? Could I actually see you having like a foster child?
Yes. That would be something we would seriously consider.
Okay.
And my wife and I have discussed that.
Yeah, because I can actually see you having 2 foster children, and I think that you both will be excellent parents. You would be more than a stay-at-home dad to take care of them, and I think that would be because your wife enjoys
and homeschool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Education in New Hampshire has gone down the tubes.
Well, there are certain pieces. I think it's actually improving.
Where?
It's certainly improving in Litchfield.
Oh, that's good. That's a good thing.
It's amazing. I went to the school the other day for parent-teacher conferences, and the teachers were really great. I even voted it in there. I even voted voted for a raise for them in their union contract.
Wow.
Because they do such a good job.
What I feel sorry for the children because the politicians are not concerned about buying new school books. They're not concerned about. They want to pay the administrators in Manchester alone almost a little over $200,000 a year for what?
Do you know that Washington, D.C. has more students in their school system than we have in New Hampshire, and they have 1 superintendent? Period. Why is it that we need one superintendent for every SAU.
Yeah, and no, and actually they have one superintendent and 2 assistants, if I believe.
That's
And
a
they're all
$500,000
yeah,
a year
Yeah, and then principal very
for
good
3
money.
people.
Yeah,
That's
you know?
nuts.
and it's wrong.
Yeah.
It's wrong. I mean, I am looking at. They say in the school that I actually look at people get more and more education through the internet than they are actually in the classroom.
Yep.
Because from what I understand, that Central School, high school, is really the bomb now. It's not like it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My oldest daughter finished her high school diploma, homeschooled, getting supplemental classes over the internet, and then she would voice chat with the teacher for questions and to go over stuff. Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah. My granddaughter would not even go to her own graduation.
Why?
She wouldn't. She refused to go because she was bullied, and that even though she's in chorus and all that, and she said my daughter-in-law had to go pick up her diploma for her. I didn't know you had to pay for your diploma.
Yep. And normally the gown and the hat too.
See, back in my day, of course, that was centuries ago.
That was back before they were cracking rocks. Right?
Right, and I have a rock that I cracked, but we got our diplomas, we got our everything that was supposed to be getting back in our day, and there again, I never fit in with the people in school. I was always a loner. I was always those kid that was being made fun of.
I was the
That
kid.
made me who I am.
I was the kid who would carry a briefcase to school to keep everything organized, and every day somebody would steal the damn thing, run it up the stairs, and then drop it so that it would fall all the way down and spill all of my papers and everything everywhere. And then I would go down and I would clean it up, and I would go back upstairs. But because they were persistent at stealing it, and I was persistent at cleaning it up, I was not going to be defeated by them doing that. How ridiculous is that?
Well, I had this kid who used to make fun of me all the time and push me around in a boat. Somehow, there was a fishing line. I had it hooked up to the stair, the stair, and around the stair. And somehow,
Did you trip him?
When he fell, I mean, he just, accidents happen.
And they do.
And he ended up with a fractured ankle. They knew I did it, but they couldn't prove it. But you know what? He didn't bother me anymore.
Bet he didn't. Well, if you want to hear a really good talk about cyberbullying, Monica Lewinsky has a TED Talk that is unbelievable, where she's promoting her new nonprofit to educate people on the dangers and impact of cyberbullying. Because she was one of the first people who was just attacked on the internet, because the internet was just sort of getting to the point where you could do your own news and things like that. So she's getting attacked from all sides, and they were outside of her house, and they were everywhere. And she talks about how it changed her life. She's a public image. She never volunteered for that.
You don't have to be an adult. I mean, a child to be cyberbullied. Adults can be cyberbullied too, as well. If people think they can control you, and that's all it is. People get too carried away with it, One more card, Daniel.
One more card, and it's going to be... Oh, no, it's going to be this one.
Okay.
This one's giving me the...
Yeah, third eye.
Yep.
Perfect for you. Self-involved. Are you self-involved in what you do in life?
I hope so.
I'm going to ask you again. Why are you using the word hope?
Well, because sometimes I can and sometimes I can't. But when I can drive myself and be grateful and have gratitude, yes.
And and that's okay.
And sometimes with I'm ill. Some people don't know that I had a really bad heart attack, and
do you have a pacemaker?
I do. It's right here. And so, some days I have a hard time walking up the stairs.
Now, are you limited because of the pacemaker?
Oh,
Are you
yeah.
limited to what you can do?
Yep. They limit my hours. They limit all kinds of things. My limitations are described by 4 different doctors, and you have to figure out, what they all are and the minimum. It's ridiculous.
So when you have, I'm going to get a little bit personal here,
Go ahead.
but when you have that that pacemaker put in,
Yeah.
can you feel it?
Yep.
You know there's something there,
Oh yeah.
and it's like, is it electronic or?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's got a battery in it. The battery lasts 8 years.
Okay, so every so often you have to go get it changed, and then
Yep.
they put you under surgery for it.
Yep.
Would you do it again?
Yeah. And there's a home monitor. So, like, they actually check it to make sure that I'm good. And if there's a problem, the doctor calls me and says, hey, we got a report of a problem. What's going on? That's pretty amazing, because
really
that
is.
means instead of going to the hospital, it's like they get an alert. And so, every time I go to the hospital, it's go in. You have a problem. If you have a problem between your chin and your waist, okay? For me, it's a minimum of 12 hours. You go in to the emergency room. They put you on a table.
Don't bang the table.
Sorry.
Please.
They put you on the table. They do a heart scan, right? They give you a troponin test. They give you another one in 6 hours. They give you another one 6 hours after that. All right? So you're in for 12 hours. I did this the other day. I was in for 2 days. Last week.
Now, when you have to, do you have to watch what you eat
Yes.
and what you drink?
Yes.
So you can't drink alcohol?
I can have some.
See?
I don't.
No, I gotta stop touching the mic too. That's my pet. I gotta remember to stop touching the mic.
Yeah. I'll put my hands in my
Yeah.
pockets there.
Then you're playing pocket pool.
I am not.
But I've always been curious. I had another client that came in today. He has a pacemaker, and he's tired all the time, but he allows himself to be tired.
Well, the problem often is not the pacemaker. It's the reason you needed the pacemaker in the first place that
Right.
makes you tired.
So what happens to the heart? Does it still stay in your? So the pacemaker, is that what kicks your heart going?
In the event that my heart has a problem, it will be like a defibrillator, those things that they hit you with,
Yeah.
and get my heart going again until I get to the hospital.
Now, you don't mind me asking those personal questions.
No, of course not.
okay, good.
It's education.
And so, folks, in there, anybody, take a look at my friend George here. He's still got, we'll question his mentality, but that's all right.
Actually, my brain function went down quite a bit.
Did it?
I lost 40 IQ points.
Oh.
The problem, the funny thing is that my IQ is still at 114, which is higher than average. So when you're having a discussion about, where are you?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're at 114. You're fine. I'm like, hello.
But your memory isn't always.
No, I forget things. My daughter and I were having a conversation about the dog we had. And we had a dog for 2 years. And she was talking about him. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I just completely blanked out. Which is why normally when I walk in here, I have a notebook.
Yeah.
You've seen me with a notebook. I have to keep notes so that I can go back and check stuff.
I was doing a reading on a lady, and all of a sudden my mind went blank. And I'm going, whoa. And she said, are you okay? And I couldn't remember. It took me like 3 minutes to get everything back on court, So,
Welcome to my day.
Right, And one of the things I do believe is that, by the way, your wife is going to get a pay raise.
That's what I hear.
Okay,
So thank you very much.
They like her very much. Yeah.
Yes, they do.
And what does she do?
She's actually working for a company that does truck routing and dispatching, and it's a common carrier.
And she enjoys doing it.
Yeah, she does.
'Cause
She
it's
solves people's
challenging.
problems.
Yeah, and she's also
Customer service.
Yeah, and she enjoys meeting the people.
She enjoys the people. She enjoys, the taking calls on the phone and trying to find out how to help someone. So yeah, that's really great.
Okay. One of the things I'm also looking at when the people out there. By the way, you said Trump won.
Yes.
He was acquitted
Was acquitted.
for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, Gary, if you're out there, what's what?
All over the nose.
What do you say?
All over the news.
All right. You want to take a walk out there, Scott, and see if Gary's out there? Not, yeah, Gary.
Hopper.
Hopper.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, because you know he's going to be elated.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Oh, what do you mean? Are you kidding? I'm elated.
Yeah, I am too.
Uh-huh.
You know, and I was going to run.
I was checking the news before I left to come here. Well, I had some errands to do, and so they hadn't announced yet. I was like,
That, and what's his name? Andrew Yang? or
Yang.
whatever.
Oh, my
And
God.
He's using his child
What's that?
to when he has a mentally handicapped child, I guess, or whatever. Why? And like that's what what's her name? The senator from here. That she was a governor. You know, I mean, oh gosh, her husband was the headmaster at the private Hassan.
Hassan. Yeah.
She has a handicapped child. I don't understand why they have to use a child that is handicapped to help get votes.
Why not? You use everything you got. Elections are all about winning. You use every tool in your toolbox. Period.
I don't know if I could live with that.
I can't either. In every one of my campaigns, I've respected my opponent.
Yeah.
I have treated people with, I've, been willing to talk about the issues, not about the other stuff.
That's like, I did not, and I questioned, I didn't even know it was going to be on Channel 9 News with the question that I asked. I said, why are you using Michael, Bragg's, to help you solve the murder of the person that did it? Why are you using that on your campaign? What is that proving? Well, I have the family's approval. I said, that's fine, but why do you have to do it that way? You know? Hey, you see, I heard that Hillary Clinton accepted a job as a chancellor in Ireland.
As the Chancellor of Ireland?
In one of the colleges there.
Oh, great.
You know, so that she can run away.
Works for me.
Yep, you know. One of the things I've also looked with people, too, is that now maybe Congress and their legislators can go on with what they're supposed to be doing, but they're not going to let it go.
They are absolutely not. I knew last night when Nancy Pelosi tore up that speech, I knew it would not end until the end of the legislative session. They will just keep going. They will be back with another impeachment because every time they do an impeachment, the Senate can't do its regular work. Literally.
And that's why that what's his name from New York, Chuck Schumer?
Yep.
Yeah. Did you see the look on his face when he kept talking, smiling, grinning, and all? And those women that are all wearing these white. What does that prove? Are they nuns?
No, they're not nuns. It's to show that women are active in Congress. That the women who didn't used to have a vote now have a presence in Congress.
Well, some of them I don't agree with, but you know what's great about our country?
That we can have a dispute and figure it out.
Yeah, and we can speak our mind without being condemned. And my scary would be if a Democrat got elected right now, all our rights would be taken away.
Yep.
You know, folks, it's up to you. You don't have to like Trump. You don't have to like Biden. You don't have to like that. A lot of these candidates, but they don't have a candidate to me, as far as I'm concerned, that's worth they're running.
Okay, we have a phone call.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how to answer it though.
Push that button right here. Hello? Oh, okay, they hung up. Call us back. But they don't know how, Let America stop destroying. Thank you. Let's stop destroying America. Let's all work together, unite together, and be strong for this country.
Let's have a dialogue.
Yeah.
And when I look at election numbers, okay, elections don't come down to big numbers. They come down to 5 or 6%. Okay? You got people on this side and people on this side. You know what that means? It means in reality, we're all pretty close together.
I've often wondered after the elections are over, like with Hillary Clinton and all that, and Trump and all, because they all used to be good friends. I wonder if they still are when they get out of the spotlight.
I think they are. Although, did you see the dinner just before the election, the first time it was a roast of Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, right? They were roasting each other.
My favorite line out of the whole thing. Donald Trump says, "You know what? Hillary Clinton bumped into me on the way in, and she said, 'Pardon me.'" And he said, "I'm going to wait till I get into the White House to figure it out."
That's cool, you know.
Oh, well, you know, it's like some insanity.
Croon, that's a women's mind and a women's belief. Women, and you have the right to be open about what you cannot allow any man to control your mind, your thoughts, or whatever. Take your rights. Do what you have to do for you, not just somebody else, but what makes you happy. You know, there's so many women that
Is that just for women? Because I think it's for everybody.
Well, actually, this is for women to kind of show me right
Okay.
now. Because remember, back in the old days when a woman waited on a man hand and foot.
There was a
Waited.
time when women were chattel.
Right. You know.
If you wanted to
Talk
divorce,
about slavery.
If you wanted a divorce in the UK, you went and sold your wife at auction.
Yeah. You know, and even today in other countries, women are treated like slaves.
Yep.
Now it's time for you women to speak up.
Now it's time for us to speak up against, that kind of bad behavior.
Yeah, tyranny and all that stuff. Remember, every one of you have a voice. I don't care if you're 6 years old, or 110 years old. The only thing I don't like, that lady, that young girl they want to give a Nobel Peace Prize to. That is a mockery of the Nobel Prize, as far as I'm concerned.
So, well, it wouldn't be if she was actually informed, but she is repeating sound bites she doesn't understand.
And she looks very angry.
She is. I believe she has autism.
Yeah, and she's very well supported. Her family and her are very well supported. What is going to happen when she realizes that what she's been saying is not always the truth?
I said to a Democrat one time in the State House, and I shouldn't repeat this, I said, "Do you know that man-made global warming is so bad that it's affecting the weather on Mars?" And they said, "Yeah, that sounds right." You understand that,
Yeah. Isn't Mother Nature in control of, or the Spirit of God in control of the weather?
Last time I checked.
And the one thing I want people to understand when the weather is, this is mild until March.
Well,
you got your stove blower ready?
You know that in the 70s, it was not global warming; it was global cooling.
Yeah.
Right? You remember?
Oh, yeah.
Manchester Union leader. We have global cooling. It's a worldwide crisis.
My son. And I love when 10%, remember those signs that were going around, 10% of the rich, and we're the part of, and I said to one guy, he had to sign him up to 10% of rich people. I said, well, I'm part of the 10%. How do you like me now? This is what I love about my show. And out there, we can be outspoken as long as we don't, slam or use
I think
bad.
we're respectful to each other and to the public.
Yeah. And I've had people. I literally.
Although I have to there is a candidate I have to slam. If you don't mind. Not on your show?
No.
Come on. He was really disrespectful.
Okay. Don't mention his name.
I have to. Yang.
Oh.
Went out, shot a video, put it on YouTube with the quote, "Full service president." Have you seen this video?
No, I don't want to.
He actually took out a can of whipped cream with a person kneeling in front of him and shot whipped cream all over this person's face.
That is.
If you're going to try to run for president, be respectful. I would never vote for you.
No. He won't win anyway.
I know.
I don't even think he'll get 1%.
I understand that. But, if you're going to, when I run for office, I know that if I'm not displaying the behavior consistent with somebody who wants me to represent them, they don't have to vote for me.
No. That's what's so great about America.
Yeah.
We don't have to vote for somebody we don't want to vote for.
That's right.
And my very dear friend Mary LeMay, I love her dearly. You've met her. And she and I politically don't agree.
My daughter and I don't politically agree.
And you know what? We still love each other.
Absolutely.
Where does it say that you have to? Wouldn't it be boring?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there would be my house would be no fun at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Look within.
That is for you and me and everybody. Look within yourself. Look within your heart. Look within your soul. Look within your, and see how far you have come or haven't come. Look to see how much more within yourself you can improve yourself. Everybody can improve their life.
You know, I wrote a book called "We Are Our Children's Baggage. Pack Lightly."
Yeah, and I agree with that.
And one of the things I said in the book is we are our own yardstick. If you measure yourself against anyone else or anything else other than what you were yesterday, you're using the wrong gauge.
Yeah.
You know, you can talk about where you are, you talk about where you want to go, but if you're not actually reflecting on you and trying to figure out, how are you compared to you versus you compared to anyone else, people can get so depressed.
Oh, yeah. When you start there are times when I start looking within myself and I say, I have come a long way.
Mm-hmm.
From a nobody.
Aren't we all?
From people who I was poor, lived on the wrong side of the town and had a learning disability and all that.
Which side of the town did you live on?
On the wrong side, where nobody liked
In
me.
Manchester?
No, in Springfield, New Hampshire.
I lived in Manchester on Kimball Street.
Oh, okay.
In the projects.
Oh, yeah. That looks like a college place.
Didn't then.
No, but I'm just saying when we've gone by, I didn't realize it was there. But I lived in an old school house, an Indian schoolhouse that my father had done. Mm-hmm. Cold in the winter, but that's okay. Lived by myself, but you know what? I was happy. At least I thought I was. I didn't know what it was that had running water until I went to first grade.
Happy is relative.
Yeah, and I survived. Mm-hmm. When I think about all that, and I say, you know what? There are times when I'm almost afraid to wake up and see if my bubble's going to pop.
I don't even know what you mean by that.
I'm sorry?
But I don't know what you mean.
Okay, in other words.
Oh, we have a call.
Oh, okay.
This button?
Yep. Hello, welcome to Norm's Community Corner.
Hey Norm, what's happening?
Oh, not too much, and you?
Yeah, not too much. I went to see my cousin and everything.
Okay, how's she doing?
She's doing better than what she was. I think she's more happy where she's at.
Okay, now where is she? Is she in a nursing home?
Yeah, and
Okay.
everything. So
Right.
I'm happy for that.
Good. How are the kiddies doing?
The kiddies are doing good.
Good.
They're doing good. Okay. My little girl here, she's sitting down next to me.
Right. Well, I'm going to be Tammy's going to take me shopping. And I'll let you know tomorrow to come pick up a chicken for her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
She waits for that.
Yeah.
And like I said, all I have to do is say, folks, this is from your uncles. And then, what are you going to give your uncles? And she'll turn around and put a paw on me and give me, I said, how many uncles? You got 2. And she'll give me 2 kisses.
Isn't that cool?
It is.
When Mary takes me when we shop at Market Basket, and when she likes
the roasted chickens?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I had one the other day that was not from Market Basket. It was from BJ's. And it was so moist. Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. I bought twice I bought chicken from, I'm not going to say the name of the supermarket, and I got sick from eating it. It was in one of those, leftovers, one they didn't sell. But Mary, don't forget, if you're up to it Saturday, Tammy and Mike are making chicken croquettes, and you're invited to come.
Alrighty, that sounds good, Norm.
And now we're going to have, of course, we're going to have to play Scrabble because Tammy, we can't let her win this time.
I know. I think we should not let her have a pencil.
There you go. You know what's really funny? My daughter-in-law does not like carrots. She hates them.
Really?
Yep. Mary will make carrots and she'll eat them.
Does she actually make them so that they're soft with butter?
Now, she won't tell us her secret.
Okay.
Right, Mary?
Yep. Yeah.
And,
that was another one that my mother had.
Right. And they're delicious.
I pull it out.
Yep. You know what I found out too, Mary? that people should eat more celery.
Celery is a
Yeah,
negative
see, I
calorie.
don't care for celery. I never did. I don't care how I've had celery and and different things.
Yeah.
I do not like celery.
Celery is actually an anti-inflammable. It takes away the pains and takes
Did
away
you say
cancer.
anti-deplorable?
Yeah, that's the same.
I heard that one.
You weren't supposed to hear that one, but
Yes.
takes pain away from that. Well, only George would catch it up, and Mary, of course. But
That's right.
but
I'm deplorable. I can't have any.
no. The funny part is a lot of your vitamins, a lot of the food that we eat is actually can cure us. Turnips, I'm not especially fond of turnips, but they are one of the strongest anti-cancer vegetables that you can eat.
Wow.
And
And
pineapple's the same way.
I love pineapple. But you know what I like more?
Yeah.
It's pineapple juice.
oh, I like the juice. I don't
Oh,
like the
yeah, I love
pineapple
that.
itself.
I mean, I like the pineapple itself. We get the cans with the little, rings that they've got the holes in the middle. But when you take all the pineapple out, you still have the juice there. And you can take the can and then you can drink. I'm probably the only one who ever does that.
No, I do that all the time. Is he out there, Scott? Okay, so
You ought to try the pineapple, make it Hawaiian style, the gravy for it.
I think my wife did that on chicken last week
Yeah.
with chunks of pineapple and then the pineapple juice over the chicken, half of the juice over the chicken, halfway through
Yeah.
cooking the chicken, and then
There you go.
halfway after it was cooked.
And
Yeah.
Mary, I'm going to let you go to the honorable,
Alrighty.
victorious, presidential man, Gary Hopper is here. Gary, we got great news.
Gentlemen, what's up?
Trump won. He was acquitted.
Oh, I know.
Isn't
that incredible?
great? Did you?
It
Of
was-
course, you
it
watched
was-
his speech like I did.
Yeah.
I even Facebooked you. I think. Oh, I know John Burke.
I think, yeah,
Did you see Nancy Pelosi tearing up his speech last night?
that was pretty petty.
Was
I
it?
know.
It was just so
It was
childish
so
for somebody.
disrespectful to
yeah,
the process.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
she's
she was.
old.
Well, yeah, but she knows better.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people who've sat in her seat that did not like the person that was president, but still were respectful.
I kept watching that. What's his name? Chuck Schumer from New York. What an idiot!
Well, the thing is that according to them, basically I think most of the hearings and everything else were all about sound bites.
Yeah.
Okay, so they knew that they could not convict him. They needed like a supermajority to convict him. And unless he had done something profoundly egregious, they weren't going to get that 2/3. So the whole trial and everything else was trying to get just snippets of sound bites on the news to degrade President Trump. And that's it.
They're not,
And
this isn't
fundraising.
done. Yeah.
And fundraising.
'Cause
Yep, you're right.
I'm on their list, and every day I get an email from them saying, we need to defeat Trump. We need to raise more money.
Right.
Like, don't ask me why I'm on their list.
No, I get it. Yeah, it's not a bad thing to be on their list, so you know what's going on.
Your friend that was the acupuncture,
Yeah,
she's coming on my show.
Elizabeth.
Yeah,
She's a very wonderful lady.
yeah, she really. But she said, well, she's not a Trump fan.
Oh no, I know. There's
But
a lot
you-
of friends I have that are pretty liberal.
Well, yeah,
So
when I said to her, I said, I am so glad that you're coming on my show.
yeah,
Because she's going to have acupuncture and we're going to do a couple of things on it.
yeah. She's
And
been
I
a
said,
real help to the recovery community and trying to basically give away her services to try to help people in need.
I felt the love energy she had.
Oh yeah, that's what I get. That's why I say I disagree with her on politics, but I really love her as a human.
Well, that's what I said to her, too. I said, we won't agree on political views.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm actually going to go before she comes on the show. Have you had it done yet?
She did it when she was on my show a couple of years ago when they were trying to get the acupuncture bill through for recovery coaches and stuff. And she did a kind of, not with the needles, but with these buttons that you push in.
The magnets?
I don't think so. I think they were like stick-on buttons.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to her coming on.
Good. Yeah, she's really wonderful.
Yeah, so you come in early, maybe she can have time to do an acupuncture on you.
Maybe.
You know, You know?
Well,
But
but there's so many people who are actually throwing darts at Gary. I'm not sure he needs acupuncture. Didn't you get caught with a gun magazine in front of you at the?
Oh gosh, that was years. That was one of my favorite things that's ever happened. So
it's one of my favorites too.
So it was quite a few years ago. They were debating, I think, school funding, but I'm not positive. It was too long ago. But
and it was hours.
Yeah, it was hours worth of debate, and Paul Ingerson was speaking at the well, but he was speaking against my position, and Paul and I are usually in
We're
cahoots.
Friends.
We're friends, and I usually agree with him. Sorry about that.
that's all right.
A fake call from California.
Oh, I get those.
Oh,
all
they're
the
trying
time.
to get you to either renew your car warranty.
Yeah, my car warranty.
Or my favorite. They've suspended your social security number.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So I pushed the one button and connect with them.
Yeah.
And I thanked them. I said, I've been trying to figure out how to do this for years.
I asked them. I was supposed to say this or not when.
Okay, so tell us the rest of the story because it's so funny.
Okay. So anyway, so Paul is up speaking, and like I say, I almost always agree with him. So when he's speaking against or for something that I disagree with, I want to hear it because maybe I'm wrong. I mean, obviously I've been wrong before.
You have?
Yeah, I know, it's hard to believe. So,
Yeah.
so I'm sitting there listening, and like most people, when you're just listening to somebody speak, you're doing other stuff, right? Some people are over there playing, video game on their hand, but it's like somebody knitting. Somebody knitting is still paying attention. They're just doing other things. But I was sitting there looking at one of my friends in the legislature, Lee Quant, used to bring in Shotgun News. And he had handed it off to me, so I'm thumbing through, just looking at pictures, okay? So the news that night.
Channel 9.
Channel 9 is talking.
Zooms in on the
Wait,
guns.
no. I get to set up. So they had a little bit of Paul speaking from the well, and they had a little bit from the speaker, the majority leader, the minority leader, the governor, all about this bill that was being heard in the legislature that day. And then they ended it with, but some people weren't even paying attention. And they shot from my shoulder, and it was like a girl in like a bikini or something holding a shotgun.
It totally was, and they zoomed out. It was fantastic.
And all over Facebook, who is this jerk? And I said, me.
Exactly.
I think I gained votes and where from that one.
You know what? You never know what's going to gain you votes. I gained some votes one time. You remember that.
What's that one?
When the Democrats put out a mailer for me.
Oh, what did they do?
Wasn't that nice of them?
It
That was very
actually.
kind.
You don't remember?
No, not specifically, no.
Sure you do.
Okay, go ahead. Well, fill me in.
So they put out a mailer about my girlfriend living with me
Yes.
and her, complaints that she had posted.
Yeah.
And, but it was so ridiculous and so offensive.
So petty.
Yeah, that I actually got votes from Democrats. I had some Democrats actually emailing me, coming up to me at the polls, saying, we're so sorry. That was just over the top.
Right,
That was
yeah.
not about politics.
It was just personal.
Attacks.
Yeah, that is good.
And you know, as a politician, you really don't have any way of defending yourself.
I threw myself under the bus today
Uh-oh.
in the legislature. One thing that's weird is that there was an anti-gun bill in the legislature presented by what's Amanda Bolden's husband? I forgot his first name. But anyway, he's a state rep from Manchester.
Is he now?
Yeah. So he introduced legislation back. I believe I was a co-sponsor. I don't remember exactly, but we passed a bill in 2003 to protect gun manufacturers from frivolous lawsuits.
Right.
Okay, because what the anti-gunners were doing is somebody uses a gun in a crime and they would sue the gun manufacturer even though the gun manufacturer has really no real responsibility.
Right.
It's go ahead.
That's like actually somebody getting hit with a car and suing the car manufacturer.
That would be, yeah, exactly. That's the example I used. I used the example of the that kid that wiped out that bunch of motorcycles this summer.
Yeah.
Is the trailer manufacturer now culpable? Is the truck manufacturer culpable for what he did? I don't think so.
No.
But nobody would sue them for that because that's stupid.
Right.
But they were suing gun manufacturers just to cost them legal fees.
Right.
And so we had a bill, and it went. It was pretty. A lot of states did it. to say that gun manufacturers are not responsible and can't be sued as long as the firearm didn't like it was screwed
No
up.
malfunction.
It wasn't a malfunction. The gun functioned as it was designed to do, but it was used illegally. The gun manufacturer is not responsible. So Bolden, right, is trying to undo that. So anyway, RTW guns. I always forget what I had it here. The guy from Goffstown, really, really nice. Tony Hawk comes in. He's RTD down in Goffstown. They sell firearms. He came in to testify. And he was pointing out something that you don't really think of, but he said he has a stack, the forms you fill out when you try to buy a gun, it's a certain form. He says he's got a stack like this back at his office of people that came in to try to buy a gun.
Go ahead.
Hold on just a second.
Yeah.
Welcome to North Community Corner.
Hi there. I'm supposed to be a guest on Gary's show this evening.
Yes,
Yeah.
Dennis?
Hi, Dennis.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the entrance to where I'm supposed to go in.
Go over
Oh.
to Margaritas. Go over to the left, 3 doors.
One door.
One door.
Is it
It's the
one
next
door?
door.
for
It's the
Margaritas?
next door.
That's
And then you
that's
go
a
up to the
sign that
fourth
says
floor.
Chase.
So the door right next to Margaritas is Harbor One Mortgage.
That's
and
Yeah, that's a door.
That's
Yeah.
your door.
72. Oh, I can't say that. I sent you a message with a code.
Do we
Oh,
need to
there's a
come
code?
down and let you in?
I'm sorry?
Somebody's going down.
If you
Someone's-
can tell me the code, I can put it in.
Okay, then somebody come down, I'll let you in.
Someone's coming to let you in, man.
Oh, okay.
It'll be nice to see you, Dennis.
But you
Yeah,
know,
that'd be
that's
great.
Okay.
But
So RTD, Tony Hawk is the,
Yeah.
Tony Hook is the owner.
yeah, I know.
So
Tony. Yeah.
he says he's got a stack of applications at his business of people that came in that he didn't feel comfortable selling to and did not sell a firearm to. He said, if they were a little bit sketchy, I don't sell to them. So after
so
somebody,
they wouldn't sell to Amanda Bolden anyway.
I'm not going to say that.
I can say that.
No, you can't.
What I,
Oh, yes, I
Apologize now.
yeah.
No, I won't.
On
So
my show.
anyway, hey, so
I'll apologize to you, but not
Okay.
to Amanda.
Oh,
okay, so anyway, so he's done testifying. You know how in a committee when somebody testifies, you get to ask questions. So I raised my hand and says, thank you for testifying, but you said that you have a list of people that were sketchy that you didn't sell guns to. So why'd you sell a handgun to me?
You know, I actually tried to sue the Canadian Club Whiskey. I tried to sue the Canadian Club Whiskey Company
For what?
because I'm an alcoholic.
Oh, yeah, that's...
You should have heard the lawyers laugh.
Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding? I said you can sue a tobacco company, but you can't sue like Budweiser.
Individuals, I don't believe can. States
No,
can.
yeah.
Right, yeah,
But
yeah,
you
yeah.
can't sue individually.
No.
You know, because and he said, well, what would happen if you sued and they banned alcohol? And people would go, you know, like
We
that. I
did.
said,
We banned alcohol and then we put it back in the Constitution.
Right, yeah, because it was not a great idea.
And but
Did not
it's
work
one
well.
of it's one of the few products that we or items of consumption that we actually have addressed in the Constitution.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's actually true, yeah.
Well, Gary, I'm sorry you come on later. We should have came in sooner, but it's okay. Thanks for coming on. George, thank you for coming on.
It was
again. We'll get you
absolutely
soon.
my pleasure.
Okay.
I'm sorry
And
that I got caught in traffic.
That's okay. And folks, remember this: Trump is acquitted.
And holding a rally
Right.
on Monday night. It's
I
gonna
was
be-
going to wear my Trump hat in.
It's going to be an America First pep rally.
America First pep rally.
You know what
yeah.
I find interesting? They're going to have a rally in Iowa on the same day that we're having a pep rally here.
They're having a what?
And what the Democrats are having a pep rally in Iowa.
Oh, Iowa.
They'll have 12 people show up,
Yeah.
and they'll all be candidates. I mean, these people can't draw a crowd with free beer and pizza.
Well, they try. Well, yeah. Okay. They tried to do that when Trump was here before at the Portland Pizza House. They only got one person.
Yeah, they had a big anti-rally at the Pizza House, and
Yeah.
nobody showed up. Biden, and they were like, when you went into the rally last time and logged on to their internet, it sent you to an anti-Trump thing. It was that rigged.
Well, anyways, folks, I know this is a lot different than what we usually have, but we did readings too.
Yeah. Did you have fun?
I had a lot of fun.
Thank you for inviting me.
Anytime.
Gary,
Of course,
great to see you.
Yeah. And of course, we have a honorable troublemaker, Gary Hopper, here. And I wouldn't want you to be any other way except
I can't help
creative
it.
ways.
Gary, I look forward to helping you join the
And
fight.
everybody,
next year.
we'll see you all next week.
It's gonna.